So I've been thinking a lot about AI and its impact on creatives. And a lot of this was actually prompted by the Drake and Kendrick beef, because in the middle of them sending songs back and forth and virtually everybody in the music industry jumping on Drake, there were other songs that were popping up that were being made by people that were just spectators. And these songs were generated using AI. One of the most popular examples of that was the BBL Drizzy soul song that somebody made that ended up being sampled by Metro Boomin to make a beat that then just randoms could pile on Drake with. And hearing that song and all the other songs that people were making surprised me a lot. Because up until this point, my opinion of AI generated music wasn't really high. I don't think anybody's opinion is even that high still. But it was just surprising to see a song that sounded decent. Literally a year ago, the AI songs I was hearing were total garbage. And a year later, this is what we're hearing, which is crazy. And it just gets me thinking in the back of my head, the statement that I've always heard that goes along with AI, which is, what you're seeing or hearing right now is the worst it will ever be. And what people mean by that is that this BBL Drizzy song, which sounds decent, is as bad as it's ever going to be from this point forward. It's only going to get better. And hence my spiraling thoughts into the dichotomy of AI and creatives. And to be completely honest with you, in the grand scheme of things when it comes to AI, I'm kind of neutral to it all. I'm not pro AI, I'm not anti AI. I do use AI in some instances, other ones, no, I don't. Like for example, I used ChatGPT to help me write an outline for this video. And it's a little bit more involved than just telling it to write the video. It's a process that I can show in another video if people are interested. But despite all that, hearing these songs did make me start asking the question, will AI destroy the act of being creative? No, but yes, sort of, because I can't ever give a straight answer on anything. But let's break this down a little bit more. So my overall view of AI is that it is a tool. And just like the invention of the computer made it easier for people like me to be able to make music, I kind of think that AI is kind of in the similar vein of, it's not going to destroy the act of being creative. Like, computers were invented and it didn't stop people from making music. It just made it easier for other people to make music because the barrier for entry was lowered. And you can argue whether that's a good or bad thing, but in my opinion, it's mostly good, despite the downsides of oversaturation. AI is a tool in the same way that a laptop is a tool. Like I said, I use ChatGPT to write this video, and that's just one aspect of it. I've seen it benefit people that are working on photo editing or even just general basic tasks of being a creative. Like, it makes it where you don't have to do those smaller, mundane tasks. In the same way that laptops made it possible for you to not have to hit rewind on a tape to be able to record a song. But this is where the debate starts to get tricky, because you could say that there's a collaboration process between AI and human creators, but you could also say that there's competition. Because, I mean, even if you just take one scroll through YouTube, you will see tons and tons of AI-generated content that's just lazy and low effort. And what my argument is for that is that it's not AI that's the problem, it's people. Because in reality, AI can't do anything unless people ask it to do it. So if you have lazy people asking it to do lazy videos, you will get crappy, lazy videos. But at the same time, it can also really empower the creative process for people. Seriously, like, it would take me hours to write a video like this, because I would have to sit around and think about what I want to say, what my thoughts were, and I just write it out, and then I have to figure out, okay, well, what are the bullet points? What am I going to talk about? And I would just struggle to do that, even though I had the thoughts in my mind. But with using AI, I've been able to just dump all my thoughts into a computer and have it organize my thoughts. At the same time, there is still an elephant in the room that needs to be addressed, and that is the ethical connotations of AI. In case you didn't know, AI requires a large data set to be even remotely decent at doing any basic task. So the solution that a lot of companies have come up with is just scraping the internet for anything and everything. And they don't really exclude copyrighted content. They don't exclude the people that don't want their creative works to be included in the data sets either. It's just all lumped in there. If they can get it off the internet, they're going to put it into their data set. And I think this is where people get concerned. It takes away your ability to choose if your creative works are even allowed to be used in these data sets. I think that's a fair fear for people to have. The other ethical issue that I see with AI is the fact that corporations will find a way to not have to pay creatives if they can just use AI. And that makes it harder for creatives to be able to make a living from their art. And this is where the question of, is AI good, comes into play for me. Because if it's making the job of creatives obsolete, what does that mean for creatives? I personally don't believe that the advancement of AI will lead to the end of people making things and being creative, because I don't think that everybody's sole goal with being creative is to make a bunch of money and make a living. There are people that do that for a living, and there are people that aspire to that, like I am one of those people. But it doesn't mean that I'm just gonna stop making things because I can't make money from it. It just might mean that my relationship with being creative may change, and I have to figure out what that means for me in the bigger picture of my life. Not saying I'm a fan of that. Overall, I don't really have a solid way to end this video or solid answer to the question of what does AI mean for creatives? I just know that for me, I use it where I can and I don't where I can't. I think that if creatives are uncomfortable with the idea of AI, that's completely valid and fair. But I am curious about what you may think as a viewer and potential creative. Are you someone that's more concerned with the use of AI in creative work? Or are you somebody that's like all the way gun-ho on it? Or are you more like me where you're in the middle, kind of like, it has its pros and its cons, but I don't hate it and I don't love it. But anyways, I'd be excited to hear your thoughts. So put that in the comments below and I will catch you in the next one.